Hello guys, I am just a random fangirl and welcome back to my channel. This time we'll be reacting to Hannibal, season 1, episode number 11, I think. So, last episode was really intense. I don't even know why I say that. Every episode, it's really intense. But yeah, no, Hannibal went into action because, well, you know. And we have kind of a witness, but not really, but also kind of okay, so the thing is that we know that this girl, I don't remember her name, but we know that she knows that she didn't do it. The thing is that she couldn't see the face because, her mental illness. And also she is a really, well, not injured, but going into medical procedures right now. And also, I don't know even if she says something, because mental health is a tricky business for some people. I am not really sure if they are going to believe anything that she says. So yeah, no, I don't know about that. It's a witness, but kind of also not. So yeah, and we just keep seeing how Will's mental health is slowly but surely deteriorating to a really bad point. Also, last episode was terrifying to me. I was watching it all alone, at 2 a.m. in the morning, so I was tired, but also I was really freaked out. So I had to bring in one of my plushies, one of my stuffed animals, and just, in company to me to keep me safe. And I am not really sure if this episode is going to be as terrifying as last episode, because I feel like last episode played around with some of these common terror horror tropes. So yeah, no, there were a lot of jump scares and things that were going on, but also really scary things. And yeah, no, I do not do well with horror stuff. I like it, I love it, I love watching horror movies, but also I am scared easily, so it's weird. But yeah, so I'm not really sure if I should go get my plushie. I'm going to just start reacting to this and see how it goes. If it's just normal stuff, not really jump scare stuff, I am just going to be fine. But if things start to get a little bit more obscure, I'm going to go get that plushie. And the thing is that everything that we see concerning Will's mental health and mental state, it's really creepy, but I can deal with it just fine. But if it escalates more than last episode, I'm not really sure if I am going to be able to get through the episode all by myself. So we'll see. But I'm really worried about Will. We are not getting, of course, things were already bad in the beginning. Well, I wouldn't say bad, but things are starting progressively to get worse and worse and worse. And some of the comments that you all left in the last video make me think that this is not going to get better for a while. So yeah, I'm really concerned about that, because I really love Will, and yeah, I just want him to be healthy, but I don't think that that's a possibility. So I don't know what this episode is going to be about. These episodes are always really great to see, and I am really excited. but also kind of low-key terrified. So we will see, as I said. And last episode was just amazing. I loved it. I think that this is one of those shows that you enjoy just because they are so good, but also once you get to know more about the characters, it is like an obsession. Like, you can understand why they are doing the things that they are doing, and I think that that's a sign of good writing of any good show, because I like things that are character driven. So yeah, no, I love all of these characters. I'm getting so attached to them. And Hannibal just being Hannibal, like his own twisted way of caring, and like, because we know that he cares in his own twisted way about Will, and yeah, that's why he did what he did, because as some of you pointed out, he really didn't care about the pig comment. So yeah, no, he's great. I love Hannibal so much. He's one of those characters that you just have to love. Like, it's just a great character. I am really so hyped to see what he's going to do next. And also the progression between the relationship between Hannibal and Will, it's really something to be witnessing, because yeah, it is certainly really interesting. You guys have left in the comment section a lot of details and a lot of things that I love to read, because yeah, it's all about the details. It's all about those things, those moments, those I just love it. I just love it. But anyway, I have my drink of choice right here, and it's alcohol, so I feel prepared. So oh yeah, I'm going to be changing some things around the channel to just make the reactions in general better. So one thing that I am working on is a diagram of relationships and family and all of those great stuff about the characters on each show that I'm reacting to. And I am working still on the diagram for this series, but yeah, like, once you start working on them, and I have to start rewatching stuff because I don't want to get myself spoiled, so I have to see what we know so far. And I don't know, it is really interesting because you can notice things that you hadn't before. And anyway, maybe in the next reaction I'm going to be able to show you the diagram. But yeah, another thing that I am going to be changing around the channel, it's that the discussion segment of each episode is going to be longer, because I want to go more slowly than usual, because sometimes I am an easily distracted person. So sometimes if I am not graphically seeing in my screen the things that happen in the episode, I forget to talk about stuff. So yeah, they're going to be a little bit longer, but I think that it's going to be for the best. And yeah, so anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be a highlighted reaction. But if you want to catch the full-length, uncut, unedited reactions, I am going to leave you my Patreon account in the description box down below, and feel free to check it out. We are a bunch of episodes ahead in there as well. I think that that's it, so without further ado, let's just jump into this reaction, shall we? I am really... My poor baby. Oh, shit. Okay, no, so the hallucinations are not stopping. Okay. Is he in some sort of paralysis? Sleep paralysis? While all of this is happening. Oh shit. God. Here, if I were him, I would really get that second opinion. But I guess that he doesn't have any.
You get to dress up and I don't.
Oh.
This might affect how well my testimony goes over with the judge.
Testimony speaks for itself.
Frederick, don't look so worried. I forgive you your trespasses.
What trespasses are those?
You made me kill the nurse. I take responsibility for killing my wife and her family. The nurse is your fault.
I cannot accept
Yeah, it kind of
responsibility
is.
for your actions, Abel.
Au contraire, it's why I'm suing you.
Ha!
Made me think I was somebody else.
Ha!
Now,
This is so great. I love every time that it happens. But also I kind of hate it because I know that it's affecting mentally. I know that he's affecting him mentally, so. Yeah, we were talking about the whites.
All I need is one hand free.
Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh, he dislocated his thumb, but yeah. Ooh. Oh, damn. Ooh.
Bullet. Gideon's escape forgoes a trial and a very public humiliation for you.
Now you are hosting a private one. Next, you'll be accusing me of arranging his escape.
No one's making that accusation.
If we're tossing around the blame, Dr. Bloom, you would do your fair share. You planted the idea that I was unethically manipulating Gideon.
Well, according to Gideon, you weren't.
After you told him I was. You thought I was manipulating him? He was manipulating you.
You were pushing him.
He gave me informed consent to treat him. Said that he was grateful for my help in understanding who he is.
Did you help him understand?
Ha.
He was not insane when he killed his wife. Killing her drove him insane. I did not convince him that he was a serial killer. I just reminded him of the fact.
Gideon is not the Chesapeake Ripper, although
Yeah.
you might have thought he was under your care, Doctor.
Yeah, no,
Whether
he's.
he is or he isn't doesn't really matter right now. If he thinks he is, or even if he's confused on that issue, he will kill again.
I hope he does not, for your sake. Cannot imagine how you would sleep with that on your shoulders.
Oh my god, he's terrible.
How did you sleep when Gideon...
All I heard was my heart. Dim, but fast. Like footsteps fleeing into silence. I don't know how to gauge who I am anymore. I don't feel like myself. I feel like I have been gradually becoming different for a while. I just feel like somebody else.
what do you feel like?
I feel crazy.
Well, I mean, that has, like, really an explanation, but.
I fear not knowing who I am.
It's affecting him way too much.
Yes.
I found your paper on narcissistic personality disorder insightful, especially as it pertains to your opinions of Abel Gideon.
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
You calling about his escape?
Well, yes. I'd like to collaborate on an article I'm writing for the Journal of Abnormal Psychology.
You want a writing partner?
Could we meet?
Does she... I don't think that she suspects that this is the man in person. But I don't know. I am a little worried for her. No, I think that she does not suspect.
Dr. Carruthers?
Yeah, no. Ugh.
Miss Blount, come on in.
What is she going
Now,
to...
you wrote in your Tatler archive that the Chesapeake River once removed a man's
Shit.
tongue and used it as a bookmark for his Bible. They call this the Columbian necktie. What do you think?
Oh god, this is so messed up. I think that this is actually the second time that we've seen this with the same person, so yeah.
How is this news already?
No.
Somebody from the Baltimore PD must have taken a picture of their phone and saved it to the Tattle crime.
The photo was taken before the blood was put on ice. Dr. Gideon was still here.
Yep.
Yes, Freddie Lowndes.
You might be working out the emergency.
Oh, sorry,
exit,
I'm just...
At least considering them. Just tell you, there are 3. They're all terribly locked down. Now, this relationship between you and me, this can do us both some good.
I could write a big story on you. Anything you want to say?
I did enjoy the article you wrote about the poor nurse killed. But it didn't really seem like genuine Freddie Lowndes.
Ah.
Jack Crawford told me to write it.
Of course he did.
To flesh out the Chesapeake Ripper.
And flushed out he was.
What's different about Carson? Why amputate his arm?
Freddie write anything about this?
Not that I know of, no.
Then maybe it's
People Gideon
not.
didn't kill this man.
Yeah.
The Chesapeake Ripper did.
You said the Chesapeake Ripper would want to kill Gideon for taking credit for his work.
But Gideon isn't alone anymore, and the Ripper isn't going to risk exposure. So no, he's
Sending a message.
he's
Responding.
telling us where
Yeah.
to catch him. Actually, he's telling you.
Me.
Because of the hand.
Where's the last place you saw a severed arm?
Yeah. Oh god, so smart. I love that man.
Experience, I have found surgeries are best performed in a local anesthetic or epidural. With the patient awake. Reminds me there's a real person here entrusting me with their life rather than a lump of meat that I'm about to reorganize. And in this instance, I would like to see.
Oh
the
shit.
face. Please.
You're not the Chesapeake.
Yeah, little,
mind
too
for
little,
it.
too late.
It's only fair to get inside your belly. This is, of course, Freddie Lowndes, you know.
Again. Ugh. No, no, no. Can someone keep an eye on this man? Oh, God.
Gideon's
Yeah.
fine. He's still alive.
A gift basket. Oh, he's messed up. Oh, God. Ooh, he's really close. To see. But, I wonder if the Chesapeake Reaper is closer than we might think. Like this shot is
I was expecting the Chesapeake Ripper. Or are you he?
Turn around and look at me.
Oh God, you're suffering so much, babe.
You are looking a little peaky, Mr. Graham. Don't mind my saying. I may be crazy, but you look ill.
Drive.
What is he trying to
Where's your
do?
doctor?
Ha! Ha! Well, he just gave him what he wanted.
I'm thinking.
Oh God.
I'm losing my mind. I
Baby.
don't know what's real.
This is putting him in a tough position.
7:27 p.m. You're in Baltimore, Maryland, and your name is Will Graham.
No, I don't care who I am. Just tell me if he's real.
What do you see, Will?
Garrett Jacob Hobbs. Who do you see?
No one.
I don't see anyone.
Yeah, you motherfucker!
You can't go alone. Do you remember coming here?
Please don't lie to me.
Garrett Jacob Hobbs is dead. You killed him. You watched him die.
What's happening to me?
Oh damn! This is so messed up.
I
Okay.
want you to hand me the gun. Well, I want you to
Oh
hand me
no.
Well,
He's convulsing. He's having a seizure or something. Yeah. Smart. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Well, he's a doctor. Oh God. Oh.
he's had a mild seizure.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to bother you.
Well, I think that he was kind of expecting that to
Said
happen.
it was mild.
Ha. Motherfucker, I love this man.
Are you the man who claimed to be the Chesapeake Ripper?
Why do you say claim?
Of course you're not. You know you're not, and you don't know much more about who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah.
I want to get out.
I know.
All the things that we can't have. But if I killed her, like he would kill her, maybe I could understand him better. I wonder if then you would finally understand what you've become.
Oh, yeah. And she's going to see, yeah. Holy shit.
They will be sewing up Dr. Chilton until the morning. That is, if he makes it through the night.
At least Will remains in one piece. For now.
Troubles you? Beyond a professional concern for a patient?
Ha.
I see his madness and I want to contain it. Like an oil spill.
Oil is valuable. What value does Will Graham's madness have for you?
You're suggesting I'm more fascinated with the madness than the man.
Are you?
He realized early on that he saw things differently than other people. Felt things differently.
So did you?
I see myself in Will.
Yeah.
Do you see
But-
yourself in his madness?
Madness can be a medicine for the modern world. You take it in moderation, it's beneficial.
You overdose and it can have unfortunate side effects.
Some side effects can be temporary. They can be a boost to our psychological immune systems to help fight the existential crisis of normal life.
Will Graham does not present you with problems from normal life.
These conversations are really interesting.
What does he present you with?
The opportunity for friendship.
He is still your
Understanding.
patient, Hannibal. Where Will Graham is concerned, if you feel the impulse to step forward, you must force yourself to take a step back.
Just watch him lose his mind.
Sometimes all we can do is watch.
That is... Oof. Okay. So, I think the most interesting thing here is how we've seen in many occasions that, of course, Hannibal cares about Will. We've seen it in gestures, we've seen it in moments, and all of that is, I think, very true. He does care about Will. As he put it himself, he sees him as an opportunity of a friendship, right? The thing is that Hannibal, being who he is, he cares, but also it's willing to risk it. And we've seen that when he says things like, well, it was a mildly that, your regular person wouldn't think of. So I think that it's really interesting, his way of caring, because even in his caring, he's willing to take chances, he's willing to take a risk, and that is really interesting. So also I was wondering if this thing that Will has, that he empathizes so much that he's able to use that as a way of catching criminals. I wonder if that is an actual thing, like, or maybe no, or not as they present this thing in the series as a whole, but maybe something like that. Are people like that empathetic to that degree in real life too? Is that like possible, or there's something that they chose to do for the show? I don't know. I really don't know if most of the things that they talk about, like that, or the treatment that they were giving this guy, basically making him doubt who he was, and now he's facing loss of identity. I don't know if those things are like actual things, or if they are theories, or I don't know. Like, the mind is a very, very interesting subject. It's, I don't know, like, for example, when the monks, right? How you can train your mind to be on this like really, really cold weather, or how you can train your mind in order to alleviate the pain, or how you, like, the mind, it's really, really interesting. But I don't know how much of what they tell us in this show are things that could actually happen, or things that are actually proven. I don't know. Like, I am not any sort of specialist on that field, so I don't know, but it is really, really interesting though. So yeah, that, and the fact that Will, I don't know if those things are like actual things, but they really are interesting. And this guy, Gideon, right? Yeah, I think his name was Gideon. I am not sure. But, like, Gideon is a really interesting character because he's not a great guy. Like, not even before this, he was great. No, he killed his family. Like, yeah, that you're not right if you say stuff like, you know what, divorcing was such a trouble, and people like me, like, okay, sure, you want to divorce, fine, it is going to be a trouble, but yeah, it's fine. And there are people that are not meant to be in relationships, I do believe so, that are happier when they are alone, for one thing or another, doesn't matter. But yeah, you don't actually come up to the conclusion of, it's easier to just kill them. Like, in what world is that easier? But he's a really interesting character, because even when we know that he's not the greatest, nicest guy, you can still feel for him in the matter of he's facing loss of identity. And I have only experienced, like, how do they call it? When you feel like imposter syndrome, I think it is. Imposter syndrome. And sometimes I dissociate myself, like, easily, and sometimes I get imposter syndrome. So, and those times are, like, hard. But those are only moments, and I have only to remind myself who I am, right? But this guy, the way that he described it as trying to remember something of your childhood, and you don't know if it is your memory or your friend's memory, and then you find out that it was only an old photo. That is such a nice comparison, because I've had that, and I think that everyone has that feeling sometime when you're trying to remember something and you're not really sure if it's your memory or if it's a story that they told you, and you are adapting it and thinking that it's a memory. Like, those things are really, really interesting. I have a lot of things like that, like stories, memories of my childhood, of where I was like 4 years old, and I don't know, I remember some things, but then I think that I don't remember the things that I remember people telling me stories about those things and complimenting them with photos. So I don't know how much I remember, and that is like a weird feeling. But to be someone like him, who you don't even get to know who you are, or if you are who you were before, and all of these missing pieces, that has to be such a messed up feeling. I do not condone him murdering his wife, but if you want to murder the guys that basically screwed up your brain, go ahead and do it. Who am I to judge? And yeah, no, but that is really messed up. Medicine, psychology, those are some really hardcore professions where you can, I don't know, there's a lot of gray area, and sometimes people are going to do stuff that are not correct at all, like this, for example. And yeah, you just hear the stories and they are, or like the MK Ultra. I don't know, in Spanish it's MK Ultra, but I'm not really sure if that's how you say it in English, because I don't know to what it translates. I guess that it should translate to the same. Yeah, MK Ultra, Project MK Ultra, something like that, right? Like where you have these people conducting experiments, or really not safe practices for the patients, and you can really mess up the brain, because there is so much that we don't know about the brain, even in these times. So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of gray area. And what I was thinking is that this guy trying to search for the Chesapeake Ripper, to try to figure out who he is and try to lure him with gifts, I think that's something that we've seen in other crimes in this show, so it is a really interesting thing. But also it makes sense, because if you're not sure who you are, then you can compare and contrast, right? You can see this other person who you think you are, who for so many time you thought you were, and you can start picking up the pieces of who you are really. But what I was also thinking, everything was happening so fast, so I didn't have any time to really say it, but that it is a difficult position for Hannibal, because, you know, we have this guy who is trying to track you down, and in the process you can get mixed up, and like, okay, Hannibal is really smart, and so far he's been able to really avoid being caught because he is smart. He is in control of what he's doing for basically all of the time. Like, we've seen him do some crimes that were more, you know, passionate crimes than rational ones, but not usually. So he's pretty safe. But yeah, I don't know, weird things. And I don't know, like, I have to assume that in some point in this show they're going to have to figure out who Hannibal is, and I am super excited to see what happens next, because oh my god, the betrayal, the angst, the implications. So every time that we are in a case, low-key, I am just expecting for someone to notice something that's amiss, something that may connect him to maybe a killing, maybe, like, Will already knows that he is morally gray because of what happened to Abigail, but yeah, I am just hoping that someone finds it. And also, I am kind of rooting for Hannibal half of the time, so I am also rooting for them not to catch him so he can still give us a lot of fun times. But yeah. The other thing in this episode, it's obviously that Will's mind, it's just out of control. And that's what I am saying when I say that Hannibal is willing to risk it. Because he's basically testing how much can Will endure without breaking. And yeah, that's just messed up. It is a really, really messed up way to care. So yeah, like, to have the knowledge that something can be done for Will, I mean, for his greater good, it is just hard to watch because he's having such bad time. And also, like, in this line of work, like Jack was saying, you have to distance yourself. You have to care about. I think that, like, doctors is one of those professions where, of course, you have to care about what you're doing. You have to have a moral compass, but at the same time, you have to distance yourself to not get affected so much by it. And this is difficult for regular people. And Will, that it's more empathetic than your normal human being, and he gets involved. This has to be such a hard thing. So yeah, the whole, ooh, that was just, and I knew that Hannibal was going to say that there was no one here. I don't know what you're talking about, because he couldn't risk it. And it was such a convenient moment for Will to have a session. But I am worried now because he just had a session. A session? Well, you understand me, what I'm trying to say. A seizure. He just had a seizure. I am going to expect that is not the last time. And we're not doing anything because he now doesn't think that it's neurological. So, this is frustrating and so messed up. Also, I really like Hannibal's conversations with his therapist because they are always really fun because they serve so well the purpose of enlightening us in what's happening with him. Also, about Alana. So, I know that Hannibal was, I don't know, like, he's this really charismatic man. He puts on that facade, so it's really hard to tell who he actually likes and who doesn't. Like, I don't think he really cares at all too much about Alana because he just sent a killer to her without knowing if something was going to happen or not. So, yeah, that's messed up again. But, yeah, it was a really great episode. So, if you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to leave a like or a comment. Anything you want would be highly appreciated. And if you want to know when I upload my reactions, I'm going to leave you my Patreon account in the description box down below and feel free to check it out. I guess that's it, so we'll be seeing each other on the next reaction. Bye!